Welcome back to Hi Kai. It's your girl here back with a very highly requested video. And if you're here, I know you've already read the title, so let's just get into it. As you know, this video is going to be talking about dating and my dating experience while living abroad. Okay, so I'm gonna need you to get your tea, because I got a lot of tea for you. All right, like hot and piping. But just want to say I will leave some time stamps in the description so you can kind of like skip over wherever you want to. So yeah, just look out for that, and make sure you like this video and make sure you follow me on Instagram and all that good stuff. Okay, now, so I always get like a few of the same questions, like, oh, like, do you date Chinese guys and how's that and blah blah blah. And so I'm just going to address a few like false narratives and just a few tips for anyone that is thinking about moving abroad, especially to China, and let you know what you should look out for, and pretty much some tips, especially as a black girl or a woman of color, or just a foreign woman in general. Like, okay, so to keep it all the way real with you, like, I'm gonna keep it real with you, Chinese men do date black women. I know a few black women that have found the love of their lives in China, and Asian men in general, but typically, because there is a lot of colorism and just racism, to be 100% real with you, they typically do not date black women or women of color. So if you are a white woman, you do have a better chance of coming over here and pretty much, being able to find some good men. But what I mean by good men is men that have, some things in common, that are educated, that have good jobs, those kind of things. But women of color, it's possible, but the chances are a bit lower. It's gonna be a little harder for you to find a Chinese guy that you like. Let me put it like that, okay? But it's not impossible. Like, it happens. But if you are someone that is looking to have a family and find love, and you like to date, you like to kind of like get it in, I would second guess coming here. Here's another tip for anyone that is looking to date while out here. You need to be outgoing. Okay, like, that's the best word I could use to describe it. But you need to be someone that is comfortable with putting themselves out there, because I think when you're here, like, you'll meet some foreign men that are used to like approaching women first and things like that. But typically, like, if you want to make friends or you want to date someone, it's probably better that you are comfortable with saying hello, asking for help, whatever to kind of get that conversation flowing. Because I find that the guys here, and Asian men in general, they tend to be more like timid and a bit like reserved, and so sometimes they'll talk to you, they might ask you about something, but if they're interested, they don't always they're not straightforward about it. They're not like, oh, hey, I like you, I want to take you out. And I think maybe they may think that you're not into them, or whatever the case may be. But I think that has been my experience. Like, I've been approached and it's been like kind of sort of flirting or just like constant conversation, but they seem to not really want to be like, hey, can you hang out? It's more of like a friendly thing until they feel you. Okay, if you're coming here, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, you need to be open-minded. If you have this type of guy that is in your head and that's like the only thing that you're going for, don't come here. Do not come here. Don't do it, because you ain't gonna find the one that you're looking for. Real talk. Like, I just feel like, there's a lot of nice guys here that I've met, but typically I had to be open-minded. I had to like weigh my options and see like, okay, like, this guy's cute and he's nice, blah blah blah, like, I can live without this, or, you know, pretty much compromise. So there's going to be a lot of compromising. I think that Western men and men here are just a lot different. So keep that in mind. With all of that being said, I must say, have patience, okay? Have patience. I can't stress this enough. I feel like when you get here, if you don't already have like a strong circle or friends group, like you want to meet people and you want to, you know, probably go on a few dates and like fill that out, but have patience. Because when I tell you, like, the expat world is so small, you don't want to end up with the first guy that you thought was cool, you know what I mean? And then you find out there's way better catches. You know what I'm saying? So to avoid that, be patient. Date around, you know what I'm saying? Or meet people, see how it goes, but do not jump on the first thing that you see that you're compatible with, or you have a bit of chemistry, or that you're attracted to. Like, I can't stress that enough. I know so many people that are like, oh, when I first got here, I met so-and-so, and then, you know, that didn't work out, and then later on I met this great guy or this great girl, but then they end up, you know, being friends and it didn't work out. So just be patient and really take your time before you get serious with anyone. Okay, so this next tip is like, especially for the ladies watching this video, okay? In China, there's something called WeChat, and I know like Korea has their own thing or whatever. That's sort of like a WhatsApp, but it's for that country. And here, you know, it's a great app. You can meet people, you know, in groups and things like that, but beware of the creeps, yo. Like, when I tell you there's so many guys on there, when I first got here, there were people adding me from left and right, these guys, and they're like, oh, like, I just got here and I'm just looking for someone to hang out with, and I'm new, can you show me around, and oh, I'm just looking for new friends. And like, I was new, so I didn't know any better, and so I'm like meeting up with these people and like trying to be friendly, just to find out that this is just their MO to get women to hang out with them, and then they end up being creeps. So my advice is that if you come here and someone adds you on WeChat and they're like, hey, I just want to be friends or hang out, don't go. Do your research, find somebody that knows them, that can vouch for, you know, the kind of person they are. But I've been on so many, not dates, like I thought I was just meeting up with these people and we're gonna hang out, and then in their head it's a date, because they're like being weird and trying to flirt and stuff, and I'm like, hold on, I thought you were just trying to meet new people, but here you are asking me to come to your house, or here you are asking me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, avoid that at all costs. Okay, so like, I have this conversation with my girlfriends here all the time, okay? And I've spoken to people that live in other countries, and this happens quite a bit. There are people that, I don't know if they have miserable lives, or they're just not happy, or they just want, you know, to live out this fantasy. They move to new countries and they create this entire new identity, okay? And that's fucking scary. Like, imagine being with someone and they're lying about, you know, what they really do, where they really been, you know, their background, you know, what they're into, interests. And don't get me wrong, people do that, you know, in their home countries as well. But I think because here you meet an individual and you don't have to know anyone that knows them. You know what I mean? They can literally lie about their name, their income, and you know, you want to believe people for what they tell you, but I can't tell you like how many people have come here and like you start finding out that they're pedophiles, you know, you start finding out that they're just, you know, dirty, and just like they're drug users, they're alcoholics, they're gamblers, they don't know how to save money or keep money. Like, they have all these like really big issues and problems that are like deep rooted, but then like they mask it and they like, oh, I'm into the arts and I'm into classical music, and oh, me and my family are great, but that's not who they are. So I'm telling you, those creeps, those people are out here heavy. You got to be careful. Like, that's why I said it goes back to the other tip saying, you know, just to be patient and really get to know each other, because, honey, the last thing you want to do is end up with a guy, you think he's great, you think he got his shit together, and he completely doesn't, and he lied to you about everything. You know what I mean? Like, for me personally, we're gonna get into this tea, right? My experience. I'll go ahead and tell you guys, but for me personally, dating has been a little bit challenging, just because I am a woman of color, and I'm not super outgoing. So like, I don't approach men. I'm not aggressive. I'm not like, you know, and I'm a little bit picky as well. Like, I think if I don't like something, it's kind of hard for me to kind of like get that out of my head. So I've kind of blown off a lot of guys, or I just haven't been out there, to be totally honest with you. But I did have like one semi-serious thing. Okay. So I met this guy, and he was really nice at first. He was very romantic and caring and giving. And to be honest with you, like, my experience dating in the past, like, guys in this day and age, they tend to be a bit, you know, more, I don't know the best word, maybe bitchy. Like, they expect women to do like so much and take so much for them, and basically like give yourself for nothing in return, you know, like bare minimum of respect, of time, all those kind of things. So this guy, like, from the beginning, I feel like he was very just consistent, you know. And consistency, like, that's hard. Like, I feel like you could meet a nice guy, I could have chemistry, fun, all that stuff, but the consistency just don't be there, because these guys be out here doing them. But nah, like, I met this guy, and he was like, you know, I was attracted to him. I thought he was good looking. For the most part, he wasn't really my type. But I was like, you know, that was the thing that I was willing to compromise, because I'm like, okay, I am attracted to him to some degree. And he was a nice person. Like, he just seemed like a really nice person. And also, like, I felt like his parents raised him well. Like, they taught him, like, hey, you're interested in a woman, like, show interest, like, you know, take the time to take her out, like, be consistent. And so all of these great qualities that I hadn't had in a long time in a serious relationship, I was getting. And I was like, wow, like, I really like this. Like, this is, you know, grown man energy. Like, this is how somebody is supposed to step to you when they want to take you seriously. And like, when I had that in the past, it's usually with a guy that I'm not interested in, but I was interested in this guy. You know, he was from a totally different country. We had enough things in common to be able to just like vibe out and talk and have a good time. But yeah, we dated for a while, and things were really good. But I must say, you know how you know that saying, like, if it's too good, if it seems too good, then it must be, wait, if it's too good to be true, then it's not. Okay, you guys know what I'm talking about. But anyway, yeah, things just seem to be too good. Cause I'm like, he's so nice, but like, I feel like we weren't really having serious conversations about us, you know, but things were moving fast. Like, we spent so much time together. I felt like on his days off, he would spend time with me. On my days off, I would spend time with him. And like, we just seemed to like always want to be around each other. And that's fine, you know, when you're getting to know each other. But after a while, I kind of was like, you know, like, I don't want to be giving you all of my time and all of my energy if, you know, this is just temporary, or, you know, I just wanted to be clear about where we were. And at some point, we kind of like came to a semi-agreement to like, okay, this is exclusive, like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna give this a fair shot. And things got better, but I always had in my stomach, like my gut, like, I never 100% trust him. Let's put it like that. I never 100% trust him. But I was open to building that trust. So it's like, he didn't do anything wrong. So I was thinking in the back of my head, that's probably just my insecurities because of my past, right? So even though I felt like, I just kept flowing, and we kept growing, you know, closer, and things were really nice. And then at some point, I remember like he, I don't know what came first, but I think his parents had came to visit, and I really wanted to respect his space. I think, you know, meeting parents and families and things like that at this age, it's a big step. Like, you know, it doesn't mean necessarily that things are set in stone, but it definitely, in my opinion, if I were to do that, it means like I care about you enough, like I value enough, like I want my family to know about you. So before I met his family, he would always tell me that he would talk to them about me and stuff, and I thought that was like really sweet, because I'm like, you know, his family's all the way in another country. He didn't have to do that, and he did, which means I was like on his mind. So his actions to me like said that he really was serious about what we were doing. You know what I mean? Like I if I just went by actions and didn't listen to anything that he ever said, I would say this person genuinely likes my company, right? So we were like just vibing out. His parents came. I spent some time with them, a day with them, and I thought they were really nice people, and I really appreciated him and his family. And for me, like when I'm dating a guy at this age, I'm looking at the family. Like, are these nice people? Will I be able to get along with them? Like, will they be welcoming or problematic for me? And I definitely felt like they were just like really nice, just like him, you know? So that was like another score. And then we had like a holiday. Me and him went on like vacation together. I won't say that it was perfect. I did feel some, at this point in our relationship, I felt some rift. Like I felt like maybe a disconnect, but that happens, right? So I didn't think much of it. I just kind of was like, this is, you know, what's happening out in our relationship. We spend a lot of time together, and like here we are spending the next, I don't know, 5-6 days together, and like, you know, you get annoyed and aggravated with people, and you have arguments and stuff. So we weren't like all the way on the same page, but at this point I still wasn't sure what we were lacking, but I did feel a rift. So as we move along, like I think after the vacation, like somehow I felt like more connected to him. Maybe because like we did something so big together. I'm not really sure. But anyway, I just was like, you know, enjoying my time with this dude, like taking it for all it was and really investing myself in this relationship. And I felt that I was getting that in return. And then his friend had a wedding, and he wanted me to come. So like I cleared my schedule, because I had to work, I had things to do. I cleared my schedule. He was the best man in this wedding, and I attended with him, and it was just so beautiful. Like, weddings are so nice, but this was like a small intimate wedding, and there was so much love in the air. And for the first time, like I felt like maybe I love it. Like I think I love this guy. Like he's just like, this is like, that's my boo. That's bae. Like that's how I was feeling. I'm like, that night, like it's like something came over me, like all the doubts that I had, everything. I just was like, I like this. Like I can see this in the long run, and I had a lot of love in my heart for him, you know what I mean? Because I just appreciated him as a person and as a friend, as a lover, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh God, thank you. You know, because I have been through a lot with guys in the past, like, that I didn't deserve. And here I was like, you know, on the receiving end of like the love, you know, that's how I felt. I truly felt in that moment. Girl, shortly after, he was going back to his home country, and you know, we didn't really speak about our situation during the summer, but I just thought like we grown, like if we want to be together, us being separated for 2 months is not going to kill us if it's real. I feel like if it's real, that's nothing. I don't have a problem with long distance. I know he's gonna be back, you know, even if he wanted to like take somewhat of a break, I would have been down for that, just because like, you know, like I don't want to hold nobody, you know, like we can, as long as there's open honesty and things of that sort. But we didn't really talk about that, and this was like the weekend before he left. He came over, and we had some plans set up. Like we were supposed to hang out with some friends, and like I just, you know, he was gonna spend the whole weekend with me like before he left, and he was gonna leave my house to go to the airport. And I was like, you know, let me really focus on him. And I figured that the conversation about him leaving will probably come up during this weekend, but it didn't work out that way. We had a dinner, you know, we just vibing. Everything was normal. I didn't feel no funny vibes. I didn't feel like he was being weird. Like, we just, you know, having dinner. And from our prior vacation together, I had took some photos in his phone that he never sent to me. So I never went through his phone. I never snooped on him. I never even, like, I'm not gonna say I didn't care if he messed with other women, but I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Like, if he was, I figured it'll all come to light eventually. I'm not going to go looking for something that I don't want to find, right? So I'm in his phone sending photos from my phone, from his phone to my phone, right? And I see some girl message him, and I click on it. Like, something just told me, it's like an instinct. Something told me to click on it, and I clicked on it. And I saw some messages that were not cool, and I'm scrolling up, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, he pretty much was just, like, talking about, like meeting this girl, and, like, how he enjoyed, like, they have so much in common, and, like, he was leaving a lot of voice messages. So I more so saw what she was saying, but it was very engaged. It was clearly that they were either seeing each other recently or for a while, and, like, my heart dropped, bro. Like, I just was like, what the, like, I just was so, like, shocked, because his actions did not show me that. And I just felt like, you know, when we first had our conversation about where we were going with this, like, the first thing I said is, regardless of anything, if something changes between you and I, or how you feel, just let me know, because I like him, and I feel like the adult me, because the younger me would not be open to being friends with a guy that I dated, but because I felt like he was such a good guy, I'm like, if he wants to see other people, let him see other people and keep him as a friend. Like, let's be mature about this. You get along with him, you know, we like each other. Like, I need to be okay with being friends with someone like this, because I felt like he was, like, just a blessing in my life. Like, a lot of my other friends, I feel like some of my friends are just blessings. Like, they bring joy to my life, and they're good people. But at this moment, I was like, wow, like, you're fucking with somebody else. And then the girl had said something about Tinder. So I'm guessing that, like, he had a Tinder account. That means that you were outwardly looking for someone else. You were not happy with me. You know what I'm saying? Or you want more, or whatever the case is. But if you are on Tinder, that means that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you out there, like, you're putting yourself out there. And I just was like, damn, this guy's on Tinder. He's seeing this other chick. She's texting him while he's with me, about to go, you know, he's our last weekend together. That's fucked up. Like, I just felt like me and him talked about everything, but he never wanted to talk about us. And so that kind of was an eye opener. I'm like, oh, okay, like, this is what that's about, because he wants to avoid, you know, maybe his real feelings, or whatever the case may be. I was heartbroken, and I realized a lot about myself for the first time, because, like, I've never been in a situation like this before. And so I would have thought that I would have went the fuck off of him and been like, yo, who is this? Da, 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 da. You know, like, really, like, checked him. But I didn't. I didn't say a peep. I was like, here's your phone. And he could feel my energy, like, my energy shift. Like, we was drinking wine, having a nice time. And I was like, I had goosebumps on my body. I'm like, damn, bro, like, he's not who I thought he was. So it gets even worse. Remember, he was, like, leaving from my house, so all his luggage and stuff was at my crib. So he had to come back to my place. And when he came to my place, you know, I just was trying to gather my thoughts, I think, but I was, like, shocked, and a part of me is so angry that I didn't, like, whoop his ass, or, like, go the fuck off and tell him about himself and kick him out my house. But I didn't have it in my heart. Like, I couldn't do it. My voice was gone, and I just was, like, so shocked. And so what happened is I started calculating all these things from, like, before, and that feeling, that gut feeling, which is ultimately my intuition. And I was like, damn, bruh. And what do you say to him now? Like, do you act crazy? Do you blame him? Like, I didn't know what to do. I just needed a minute to, like, collect myself. But here he was in my apartment. So that got really, awkward. And because I think he knew exactly what I saw, but maybe not how much I saw. So he was kind of like trying to speak to me and trying to like fill me out. And I just was like barely talking to him. And then after some time in my apartment, he was like, hey, let's just talk. So I'm thinking, okay, he about to let me know who this bitch is and like, the real. Like he about to just like confess about what I saw. To my surprise, this man had the nerve to be like, yeah, I should have told you a long time ago that I don't want to be with you. What? Then he lied and was like, yeah, I'm going back to my home country and I don't know if I'll be back and I don't want to put you through that. And then, you know what he did? He actually used the fucking Hollywood like quote that it's not you, it's me. You're great. You're a great person. That's all he could say. That I was great. Not that I didn't deserve that, and not that like, I'm a fucking asshole and I'm sorry and that I should have been, but he just was like, you're great and I don't want to drag you through a relationship where I'm home and I don't know if I'm going to come back. So yeah, let's just not be together anymore. And I'm just like, oh, we don't need to be together now. Now that I fucking saw that you're fucking with other bitches. Now? Wow. The nerve. Like, I just was like, because I was really expecting him to be like, look, that girl is so-and-so, and like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I stepped out, whatever, or like, like, I've been dating other people, blah, 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 like, this is why, I'm sorry, like, what do you want to do? That's what I was expecting, but he threw me like a curveball when he was like, I'm not even trying to be with you no more, like, and I've been feeling that way. Now, mind you, like not even a month before, we had attended that wedding where I felt like love. You feel me? Like he was just like so happy for me to be at this wedding. He's like, I'm so glad you came. Like, like basically like you my bae and we here and like this is great and we're doing things together. And we were just talking about like relationships and like just love and like weddings and stuff. We were talking about that stuff, and for him to say like I've always like kind of wanted you, like I didn't want to do this anymore for a while. I was like, so why'd you have me meet your parents? Why'd you have me go to this wedding? Why are we going on vacations together? What changed within two and a half weeks? Nothing. He probably always felt that way, or maybe there's more to it, but he was such a coward about it. Like, he just didn't want to own up to, him seeing other people and just, just being disrespectful to like whatever it is that we had. My heart was really broken. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, I'm not sure if I don't think I loved him, but as a friend, I really appreciated him, and I felt like I was like falling in love with him. So, I was heartbroken. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Like, that hurt. It just hurt because I just thought that he was somebody that I could really depend on and I could trust. And at that point, I was like, this is, clearly somebody I can't trust. And when I finally got the chance to tell him how I felt about how he handled it, I was also caught off guard by his response. He pretty much texted me back and was like, I'm sorry that it happened this way, and the girl that you saw me talking to, I knew her before I knew you, and have a nice life. And I was like, wow, have a nice life? Yeah. So I don't know what else you could like amount that to besides that I didn't mean anything to him. And I think that's probably what hurts the most. So like, I don't know if I'm heartbroken or like, oh, like he was the love of my life, but just like, damn, like he really like stabbed me where it hurts, because men cheat, I've been cheated on before, but I think because I thought so highly of him, and his response to the whole breakup itself, it was just so like not who I thought. And at this point, like, you couldn't tell me anything bad about him. That's how I felt. And then here I was. So that was the end of that. And I haven't spoken to, like, I did like block him like on the phone and stuff, but I haven't heard from him since. It was never like a sincere apology or explanation, which I don't want, but I'm just saying, like, I think sometimes when people actually have a conscience and they want to make things right with a person, they usually try, even if it doesn't work, even if the girl's like, I don't want to hear shit you gotta say, they usually try to do that. He never tried. So which makes me think, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think that this is bringing me back to the point. I think that, you know, when you get to China and you're very busy and you're working a lot, and you're new, you don't have like a lot of friends or whatever the case may be, you make tenders, or like you meet a few people out and about, and you know, during that school year, people tend to want to lock something, like cuffing season. They want to cuff something during the season, you know, whatever they could get. And I think that I was just kind of like a victim of like being a person that he met at the right time. And we, you know, we did the whole Christmas thing together. Like our like second or third date, he came to my place and we decorated my apartment, and he bought me like a Christmas gift, and you know, it was really nice. And I think, you know, when you're living abroad, you don't have that. You know, you don't have your family during the holidays. You don't have the festive feeling of just like love and like that. There's a certain energy that can be missing if you don't have the right circle. And me and him were both new to Shanghai. And I think that he kind of just took me for the ride up until, you know, it wasn't what he wanted anymore. Or at least until he got caught. So, yeah, it sucked, but like I've moved on, obviously. And like, you know, I'm a bad bitch, so we move on. Okay? Life goes on. Okay. And but it taught me a lot. So now, like, now when I date guys, I see a lot of similarities in him. Like, since him, because I dated him seriously my entire time here, at that time, I was not dating other people. So now when I date guys, I get the same kind of treatment. They're like all lovey-dovey, all romance. They want to do this. They want to, you know, they're trying to make me their girlfriend all fast. And I'm just like, hold on. Okay? Let's slow this shit down. Because you're not about to take me on the ride for, you know, your little temporary relationship that, you know, whatever. I'm not trying to go down that road again. So, definitely, ladies, if you come here, beware of men that are looking for something for the season. You know what I mean? Like, yes, everyone gets lonely. I'm not saying that, like, you know, you can't date people temporarily or whatever. But I think pretending to want to be in a serious relationship, or to really be with someone serious is just so fucked up. And beware of it. So what's happening, I have girlfriends that have been through the same exact thing as me. Like, they could tell my story and be like, that same thing happened. Like, I was living with a dude, and then the summertime came, or he got a new job somewhere and he just left me with no explanation. So just be careful. But yeah, I have some better dating experiences with some very, 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 very hot men. Okay, let me tell you something. I've met some beautiful ass men here. Like, whew, ciao. So I have some happier stories, but that was just like my one story with a serious, like a semi-serious or whatever. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll be back with another story time soon. See you later. Bye.